Welcome to the channel. Today is an exciting day for LinknLink, as we now have a HACS integration for LinknLink eSeries that will allow us to easily see sensor information within Home Assistant for their eHub, eTHS, eMotion and eRemote. More importantly, we can now learn IR and RF commands from within Home Assistant and play these back. Now, if you don't know what the LinknLink eSeries is, then I'd suggest that you watch the video in the pop-up above. But basically the eSeries comes in 4 different configurations. The eRemote, which is new and we'll cover in a future video. Then there are 3 tic-tac shaped devices. One does temperature and humidity, one has a microwave sensor, and the jewel in the crown is the eHub, which is a 5-in-1 device. Temperature, humidity, a microwave sensor, plus the ability to learn and send IR and RF controls to those dumb remote-based devices. So this is a Broadlink RM Pro plus a microwave sensor all in one unit. So think RM Pro on steroids for less money. Links in the description if you want to pick one of these up. Let's dive on in and integrate the LinknLink eSeries into Home Assistant. I'll assume you already have your eSeries device already installed onto your LinknLink app. If you need assistance with this, then watch my full review link in the description. You will also need to have HACS installed to be able to use this integration. Links in the pop-up above on how to install HACS. Once you've installed, come back to this video. Now navigate to HACS in the left-hand menu. Press the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner. Select Custom Repositories. Copy the custom repository from the description below. Paste into the field for repositories. In the category, select Integration and press the Add button. Now search and select for LinknLink. This will show you all the documentation associated with the integration. Now we need to restart Home Assistant. Go into Developer Tools, check your configuration, make sure that Home Assistant reports configuration will not prevent Home Assistant from restarting. Press Restart, restart Home Assistant, and confirm with Restart. Now before we can install the integration for LinknLink, we need to know the IP address of your device. You can do this from your router, but a simpler way is to source this from the LinknLink app. In the LinknLink app, select your device. Press the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner. Select Modbus. Make a note of your IP address. Back in Home Assistant, navigate to Settings, Devices and Services. Press the Add Integration in the bottom right-hand corner. Search for and select LinknLink. In the host, type in the IP address that you sourced from the LinknLink app and press Submit. The integration will advise you that the device needs to be unlocked. Now switch back to your LinknLink app. Back in the LinknLink app, you would still be on your Modbus page. Press the back arrow in the top left-hand corner. Press the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner again. Select Settings. Untick the option for Lock Device. Confirm OK. Back in Home Assistant, press the Submit button. Optionally set an area and press Finish. Search for LinknLink. Press the Devices button. You can now see we have the temperature, humidity and motion sensors all available. Now we can automate based on these sensors available as we would do a normal sensor. Now comes the fun part, the IR and RF configuration. So the principles we'll be following are very similar to the Broadlink RM Pro, but remember this is cheaper and with a microwave sensor built in. Navigate to the Developer Tools. In the Services, search for and select Remote Learn Command. In the Targets, press Search for Device. Select your eHub. Tick the box for devices and give it a name. Make sure it's an easy to remember. In my case, Fan. Tick the box for Command. Give it a name for the button that you're going to learn. In my case, Power On, as this remote has a Power On and a Power Off button. Make sure your command type is set to the appropriate IR or RF. In my case, this will be IR. Now press Call Service and press the button on the remote you wish to learn. If successful, the Call Service button will change green with a tick. Clear the service command. Search for and select Remote Send Command. Select your eHub device. Tick the box for device. Use the same name that you specified when you were learning the command. In my case, Fan. In the command, type the same name as you used before. Now you can leave the remainder of the commands as default. Now press Call Service. As long as the eHub is within the range of the device, your device will now start running. You can now repeat this process for all your IR and RF devices you wish to control using the hub. While you are learning all of these remotes, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, and a super thanks or a buy me a coffee. It really does help the channel. All of the process we walk through is simple enough, and before you know it, you'll have IR and RF devices all learned and be able to control things you never thought possible. The next issue you will come across is while you are scratching your head as to what the commands you just learned for a specific button on a specific remote control. Now for this, we're going to need to dive into the back end of Home Assistant. Don't worry, it's not difficult and easy enough to follow through. We'll need a file editor. Now usually I'd recommend using Studio Code Server, but in this specific instance I'd recommend using an alternative file editor called File Editor. Now that's easy to remember. If you have File Editor already installed, then you can skip over this section. Navigate to Settings, Add-ons. Press Add-on Store in the bottom right hand corner. Search for and select File Editor. Press Install. Turn on Show in Sidebar. Select Configuration from the menu at the top. Scroll down to the GIT section where you see .storage. Delete this. Scroll down and select Save in the bottom right hand corner. Select Info in the menu at the top. Now press Start. Make sure that the add-on has started successfully by the green dot in the top right hand corner. Now press Open Web UI. In the top left hand corner, press the folder. Now you should see a file called .storage. Select this. Now scroll down until you see LinknLink. Hovering over the first entry, you should see the file ends with underscore codes. Hovering over the second file, you should see it ends with underscore flags. We need the first entry. In the file, at line 6, you'll see the device is named fan, and at line 7 we have our command, which is power on. Additional devices or additional commands will be at the same indentation level as lines 6 and 7. Now there are ways to understand these codes and derive these externally to Home Assistant so that you can pre-populate these. In my experience, that takes a considerable amount of time and effort, and it's much easier to simply learn the codes directly from the roads. These perform exactly the same as all core services, and you can now build these into your automations and turn your dumb devices into smart ones. With the introduction of this HACS integration for the eSeries of devices for LinknLink, these devices have turned from very innovative devices with good integration to Amazon Alexa and Google Home into a truly useful device for all of us Home Assistant users. So you get all the functionality that you got with your Broadlink RM Pro, but adds a microwave sensor to give you an even more comprehensive device and for less money. So would I recommend it? Yes. The only caveat I have with this device is the mounting. Although the tic-tac shape is attractive and novel and would be fine if it was just for the IR, RF, temperature and humidity, the inclusion of the microwave sensor means that you're going to have to think carefully about the mounting and orientation of the device. Not a deal breaker, but something you need to be aware of. So I hope you enjoyed the video and consider subscribing and dinging that bell. And if you found the video useful, then maybe consider buying me a coffee or a super thanks. This allows us to continue making such videos. Until the next one, hopefully you can now put your remotes in a drawer.